So CM Punk did an interview on The Herd with Colin Cowherd a few days ago, and he had some comments directed at his former employer, the WWE, that have sparked a little bit of buzz in the internet wrestling community. So what I'm about to read right now, CM Punk's comments. Back in, I want to say, 2011, my contract was up and they were trying to re-sign me, and they were trying to re-sign me for lowball figures. It's what they do to the guys. They're indentured servants. They try to pay them the smallest amount of money you could possibly pay them. There's no health insurance. You're responsible for your own travels, your own hotels, your own food on the road. You're home once a day, maybe. I did that 10 years to get to the WWE, then I did it 10 years there. So my gas tank was empty in that regard. So that term there, indentured servants, that's a pretty loaded term. And when I read that, I honestly was taken aback a bit. And that's one of those things where no matter what point you're attempting to prove, when I hear some shit like that, even if I agreed with you up to that point, and I'm not necessarily saying that I agreed with him up to that point, shit, I'm not even necessarily saying that I'm in a position to agree or disagree up to that point. It's just like whatever point you were trying to make, when you throw out a term like indentured servants, I'm off the fucking boat and I'm swimming back to shore.
I
I'm not
mean,
down with that at all.
and like the term he used specifically when I first read this. I mean, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a little harsh, but it kind of makes sense if you think about it.
Really?
Because,
Wait,
oh,
what?
well, it kind of makes sense if you think about it. I've actually done a little bit of research on on what WWE pays their wrestlers, and wrestlers do not get paid a lot. Like, and you know, it's funny. We see on like these like swerve shows and like these reality shows that WWE tries to do. We see them in these cars, and we're thinking like, really, they're in this kind of a car when they're pretty much on TV, like performing and putting their bodies online, and they don't get paid that much. And we've seen their houses. I mean, why do you think people move to Orlando? Because the income is cheaper down there. And it kind of stems off back from like for what Ryback said a couple months ago when he was going through his ridiculous spiel on how the lower cut wrestlers should get paid more. So essentially, it's like unless you're the top guy like Cena, Lesnar, Taker, Triple H, and the rest of them, you pretty much get like minced meat for what you're
But you
worth.
want to know
See,
why that
there's
is?
a difference though, because what you're saying right now, they may not be able to live in mansions and things like that, but there's a
Yeah.
difference between not making as much money as you think you should make versus being an indentured servant. Because for CM Punk to be the person that's making
He's
this
better.
statement, the dude is a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, you know what he's making it sound like? Like WWE is his mother or father, and they're the parents. Like you want them to babysit you and support you and buy you everything, and that's what this sounds like.
No. It's different in a situation like this because I understand why these things are important to CM Punk: the travel, hotel, food on the road, because these are expenses attached directly to him being a WWE superstar. If he had a regular 9 to 5 job where he went into an office building and he sat down, you don't have to worry about hotels. You don't have to worry about plane tickets, and you don't have to worry about food on the road. These are expenses directly attached to being a WWE superstar. But where he loses me is when he talks about how WWE doesn't pay for any of these things. If we were in a situation where to be a WWE superstar, you were going broke. For example, WWE gave you money because you worked there, but because of your health insurance, because of the hotels that you had to, pay for to be at a WWE show, because of the food, because of the travel that you had to buy to be at a WWE show, if you're going broke, that's a problem. Shit, hell, I'd agree with him. I'd be at the front of the damn protest with
Yeah,
my
it's like
pitchfork and my sign going crazy because I would feel very uncomfortable consuming the WWE product if people were going broke just to be on TV. But if that's not the case, then none of this shit matters, because if you're being paid enough to pay for all of this and be a millionaire after everything is said and done, you're good, bro. You're good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It's
Exactly.
like
Jay, that's just a matter of them not knowing how to spend money wisely if they ever go broke. So, again, that's really not WWE's fault right there. I just don't understand why CM Punk has to attack WWE about the money because that was never his argument since day one. And now he's kind of contradicting himself and he's making it seem like it's all about the money. And I just don't get this guy anymore.
I'm not necessarily saying that he's right or I agree with him or oh he's my hero now or he's some kind of martyr, but I get it. If I ever saw CM Punk in person, I'd probably try to give the guy a fucking hug or something. Because it's very clear that he was not hugged enough as a child. He was not told that he mattered. Because when I look at CM Punk and all of the things that he says, it's clear that he is trying to seek validation through these different systems. And for a guy as confident as CM Punk or as confident as you would think that he is, and I noticed those contradictions too, way back when he did that interview with Colt Cabana, and he said at the beginning, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. But time and time again in the interview, he kept saying over and over again, they should have paid me more. I wanted to make as much as this person was making. I made $1 million. I should have made 10 million. He kept mentioning the money over and over again. And now I realize that it never was about the money to him. It's all
about respect.
It's all about being accepted. It's all about
Yep.
being validated. And if WWE pays John Cena the big bucks to validate him as a top of the top guy in the company, CM Punk looks at that and says, okay, well, here's how you show validation. Here's how you show acceptance through money. Okay, well, I want you to accept me too. I want you to validate me, and you validate me by giving me more money. So that's all that it is. It's him just expressing his frustration with not being accepted. Him essentially being rejected by WWE.
And you want to know what
this is the result. This is why we got this interview here.